Rat, Subterranean News, 1968-69. We lived in the eye of a political and cultural hurricane, the most intense period for the movement. Many Rat people worked with the Black Panthers. Rat made news as well as reported it. Black Panthers. The Black Panthers at first were setting up free food programs, community defense in the sense of they would have legal advice and help for everybody in a many block area, so if they had some problems with authorities they could get help, and that was very useful, from welfare questions to food stamps to a whole array of questions, to parking tickets, to everything. They had free schools to tutor children going to bad schools, to free tutoring so that they could progress. The Black Panthers were model citizens. LBJ had his war on poverty. And if he was smart, he would have embraced the Black Panthers and said they're the best community organizations in the country. They're really efficient because they have no money, so they're getting all this done with very little money. The government grants should have gone to Black Panthers throughout the country and let them work with the black communities. They were superior, but the fundamental racism, and particularly young black men, are threatening in American society and still are. These weren't wimpy guys, they had manhood. And manly young black men have always been a threat, guys that weren't subservient. And so instead of the war on poverty embracing the Black Panthers and making sure they got money and grants and holding them up as great examples, and the same can be done in the Latino community and everything, etc., they attacked them.
Bobby Hutton was instructed by the cops to run from here to the police car or the area where it was, and was literally shot down. He was shot over 10 times. He had 5 pistol bullets in his head. A clear-cut case of murder. As Brother Huey P. Newton says, the racist pig cops must stop their wanton murder and brutality or suffer the wrath of the armed black people in their black communities defending themselves.
And that was easy when you got to a local level, because these people inspired fear in local police, who were generally whites, detached, working people. What should have been embraced was attacked.
No more brothers in jail. Off the bed. Pigs are gonna get jail. Off the bed. No more brothers in jail. Off the bed. Pigs are gonna get jail. Off the bed. No more brothers in jail. Off the bed. Pigs are gonna get jail. Off the bed. No more brothers in jail. Off the bed. Pigs are gonna get jail. Off the bed.
And at first it was at the harassment level, people arrested for building codes, and oh, you don't have a health permit to have a free lunch program, or all these kinds of things. And then there was confrontations with the community and people were getting arrested, and so then the Panthers had to move into defense, and then the police shooting them, and the Panthers are now starting to wear black jackets and talking about armed self-defense. Guys like H. Rap Brown are really getting vitriolical.
They gave you Walter Washington of Washington, D.C., and you said we were making progress. That's not progress. See, it's no in-between. You're either free or you're a slave. There's no such thing as second-class citizenship.
pretty soon the whole power of the government at all these levels were at war with the Panthers. Instead of embracing the Black Panthers, as I've said, they tried to destroy them, the police and security establishment. Professor Dale Brumfield, who's an author and professor on the East Coast in Maryland, has sent some of the footage that you're going to see about FBI plots to destroy Panthers.
The FBI then embarked on a series of harassment techniques to bring down the Black Panther Party. One of the things they did, one of the many things they did, was they created a Black Panther coloring book. It's intended to be mailed to white supporters of the Black Panthers breakfast program. Well, it turns out the Black Panther coloring book was terrible. It portrayed the Panthers as bloodthirsty heathens, and it portrayed policemen as pigs. And it was completely appropriate in this coloring book to commit violence against police. So the response of the white backers of the breakfast program when they received this coloring book, well, they were astonished that this was what was going on, what they thought was going on with the Black Panther Party, and they pulled their money out of the breakfast program then.
To teach this sort of thing, which was a total fabrication and creation by the FBI. They also did that against the underground press, but it goes to the extent of the duplicity and shameful behavior that the FBI went to try to destroy the Panthers. So it wasn't just guns, it was like get at their economic base too.
The COINTEL FBI program was especially difficult on the Black Panther Party. One of the things J. Edgar Hoover particularly worried about was the rise of what he called a Black Messiah out of the Black Panther Party. He saw Dr. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad as potential Black Messiahs who may rise and create a lot of discord among the Black nationalist movement with the FBI and CIA and other organizations. So the FBI then embarked on a series of harassment techniques to bring down the Black Panther Party. This is a memo dated October 13th, 1970 to J. Edgar Hoover from the Detroit field office. This memo is saying the Bureau is requested to prepare and furnish to Detroit in liquid form a solution capable of duplicating a scent of the most foul-smelling feces available. In this case, it might be appropriate to duplicate the feces of the species Sus scrofa, which basically is pig shit.
My name is Kalita Smith. I'm 8.5 years old. I live in Oakland, California. I go to school at the Oakland Community Learning Center. My school serves us breakfast, lunch, and dinner because sometimes your mother or father or whoever you're living with probably don't have enough food for you.
My visa, my visa,
My school was started by the Black Panther Party.
A smart government could have been embracing them right at the beginning and use them as the ideal example of community empowerment.
What we want, what we believe.
Point number one, we want freedom.
We want decent housing.
We want an education for our people. We want an immediate end to police brutality.
People join for all kinds of reasons.
This thing called violence that everybody is so afraid about. Here you are talking about you afraid of violence, and the honky drafting you out of school to go fight in Vietnam. You're going to sit in front of your television set and listen to LBJ tell you that violence never accomplishes anything, my fellow Americans.
There's a lesson that Minister of Defense Huey P. Newton teaches, that whenever the people disagree with the political decisions that's been made upon their heads, that whenever the people disagree with those political decisions, the racist power structure sends in guns and force to see that the people accept those political decisions. But we are here as revolutionaries to let them know that we refuse to accept those political decisions that maintain of our black people and other people in the world.
They put trumped-up charges of conspiracy and felonies on everyone who went in to exercise a constitutional right and said they had no right to bear arms in a public place. The California Penal Code Section 12020 through 12027 and also the Second Amendment of the Constitution guarantees the citizen a right to bear arms on public property.
My treatment was generally abusive and oppressive, and primarily because of the fact that I was a prisoner of war and a political prisoner.
What do you think is going to happen with the Black Panthers now? They're losing your leaders, etc.
It is true that many of our leaders have been confined in the concentration camps here in America. I know that the Black Panther Party will prevail. It is the vanguard of the people's struggle, and that while leaders are put into prison, new leaders are born, new leaders are made.
The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense is organized now throughout the nation. We are recognized internationally, and we advocate that all black people in America are taught what politics is all about and what our history is all about, so that we can have self-identity and we can know where our strength is, we will know our enemies, and we'll know our friends. This is a black curriculum.
We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression. We hate murder of black people in our communities.
The white man's definitions is what we find ourselves trapped by. His definitions of what is good and what is bad. His definitions of what is reasonable and what is unreasonable. His definitions of what is savagery and what is not savagery. And that is perhaps where we've really been trapped, because the white man has been subtly making us hate ourselves. The white man has been playing God for centuries. And the reason he's played God for centuries is because we've let him. It's time for us to tell him that playtime is over.